Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead. So last night's episode had some pretty significant things happen in it, and then a lot of filler time, which it really lengthened the episode. We didn't really need it, but we're not going to talk about that, because it wasn't generally a bad episode. It was a pretty good one. But some of the characters did some really stupid things. So let's just kind of run through the whole thing. We start off with Carol. This is basically after she's just left. She's left Alexandria. She said she can't stay there anymore because she doesn't want to kill anymore and whatever. Which would have been a really horrible way for her to just leave the show kind of off camera, just nothing. So we do get to have Carol back. And by the end of this episode, we're not sure what's happened to her. She might still be around. She could be dead. Who knows? Okay, we don't know. But the first part of the episode, Carol's driving away from Alexandria. And as she's driving away, some of the saviors are driving toward Alexandria. And they stop her. And they're going to kill her. And she ends up killing all of them except for one who gets away, which is pretty cool. I mean, she's still proving to be quite the badass. It's a pretty cool scene. I'm still not sure how that machine gun was in her coat, but we'll let that slide. And if it was in there, how'd she fire it? But I can let that slide. It was still pretty awesome, and she finished off everybody that she thought was alive, so that was pretty cool. But we don't know. It just kind of cuts, and we don't know what happens with that direct outcome, other than she stopped the guy from killing her, presumably. As Rick says in the episode, she could have died here and is not here because we all know people turn into zombies and walk away. So we don't know what's up with Carol at this point, but still it was a pretty cool beginning part of the episode. And then as the episode goes on, we have a bunch of people leave Alexandria. Pretty much all of the important people leave, and that's pretty damn stupid. Just like the doctor going out and Eugene going out last episode and putting themselves in danger and eventually dying for the one of them, we have more people kind of exercising that same logic. Daryl decides he's going to go kill Dwight. His leaving has nothing to do with Carol, it turns out. We thought it was at the end of the last episode, but it's not. He's just going to go avenge... what was the doctor's name? I don't even know her name, but he's going to go avenge the doctor. And so he does that. He leaves. And then people are like, well, we can't let him go. He's going to get himself killed. We'll follow him. So Glenn and Michonne leave too. And so does Rosita. So that's 4 people that are already gone that shouldn't be gone. And then Rick and Morgan leave to look for Carol. Really? Everybody of any importance leaves. For the most part. There's a couple, obviously, that didn't. But still, that is pretty dumb. Like, they're expecting an incursion, an attack from the Saviors. And almost everybody leaves. What? Even if the attack doesn't happen, you're putting yourself in danger out there. And then if you do die, the attack will happen eventually, and you're leaving Alexandria open to attack. Literally. So that's pretty dumb. And it proves that I'm right by the end of the episode, because even though Rick makes it back, Morgan stays out to keep looking for Carol. He says he'll find her. Rick's needed at home. Only logical thing that happens in this episode, really. I mean, from their perspective. So that's a thing. And while we're on Morgan, let's talk about Morgan. He explains to Rick his whole logic, his whole circular thinking in that if you let people live, they may turn around and end up helping you, and that's what happened with Carol. Rick let Carol leave, he didn't kill her, she came back to help them. Fine, that makes sense. Then he provides another example. He let that wolf guy live, and turns out the wolf guy saved the doctor. I wish I could think of her name. I don't know, I never liked her character, so I kind of, whatever. And the wolf guy saves her when the zombies come. But he also kind of forgets to mention that she wouldn't have needed the saving if the wolf guy hadn't kidnapped her in the first place. So it's like, yeah, sure, there are situations or instances where your logic works, but it's just as often that it doesn't work, if not more often. Or the fact that the wolves may not have even come to Alexandria if it wasn't for him leaving them alive. So Morgan's whole logic is, I think they're just pushing it a little bit too far. So hopefully that gets resolved at some point soon. But so far it hasn't. Rick's kind of starting to understand him a little bit more, so I guess that's good for them. There's less tension, but I'd kind of like to see that Morgan thing resolved one way or the other. Anyway, so Daryl leaves. He's going to go avenge the doctor lady. He's going to go kill Dwight. And he meets up with Rosita and Glenn and Michonne. And Glenn and Michonne say, hey, stupid, you're going to die out here potentially, and we need you at home. this is dumb. We can worry about Dwight later. We're going to have to deal with the whole savior thing anyway. Come on, this is dumb. And he says, no, I got to do it. And then Rosita goes, no, I got to do it too. So they leave. So Glenn and Michonne are just wandering around apparently, and they get captured by Dwight and the other savior guys. Apparently, all of a sudden, after all of the success we've had, we being the Rick group, they can't do it anymore. They no longer are capable of succeeding. So they get captured. And then you think, it shows them being captured by Dwight and them, you think that they're going to get rescued by Daryl and Rosita, because they sneak up and then they're going to rescue them. They get captured too. It's just like all of a sudden, from everybody doing everything effectively, everything's going smoothly, to all of a sudden they just suck at everything and keep making dumb decisions. And then at the very end of the episode, Daryl gets shot. Presumably not dead, but there's a whole lot of blood splatter that hits the camera, so who knows. We do have Dwight say, don't worry, you'll be all right, or something like that, or you'll be all right. And it stands to reason that Daryl will be in the next episode, and some people are making the assumption or presumption that Negan is going to kill Daryl instead of Glenn as he does in the comics, which may be. I personally think that would be a horrible decision, despite the fact that Daryl's not in most of the episodes. Not really. He still has the potential to be in them, and when he is in them, he's pretty impactful, so I think that would be a bad call on their part, but it might happen. So there's really not much to talk about this episode other than what may happen next episode, which, it's all just guesses at this point. We do see Father Gabriel stepping up in the preview for next week saying, I've got this covered. My first priority is is protecting Judith, and I'm going to protect the city, and I got your back. And it seems genuine, it seems honest, and he seems to have turned around. So it's cool to see that character have that development and that progression. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But that's really it. I mean, for an episode where things happened, it was pretty much things happened for next episode. They don't really happen for this episode. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. We'll see. I mean, nothing really, it starts to happen, but doesn't complete. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. It was a decent episode. A lot of it, but probably about half of it, didn't really do anything. Kind of pointless conversations, but it's going to happen. Then the other half of it is just set up for next week. So let me know what you guys think. That's where I'm at. I really hope Negan doesn't kill Daryl. I really don't care if he kills Glenn. We need to kill a named character soon, like a real named character. I mean, like one of the main ones. And as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be Glenn. He's already basically died 3 times or come close to it. And he's less impactful than anybody at this point. He's kind of been pushed aside for other characters, which I don't care for, but he has. So if you're going to kill one of the main people, might as well be Glenn as far as I'm concerned. But it just goes to show, you don't send all of your effective fighters out on stupid things, or don't let them go out to do stupid things, because this is what happens. You have to split up and manage your group more effectively. And this did not work out well at all. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.